got you, Mike. Come on up here. Yeah. It's been a while. No, actually, Grace is giving me the one for the
So hi, my name's Ellie.
Yeah.
And yeah, if y'all didn't know, so I just want to ask everyone to please be patient with me tonight. This is the first time I've stood in front of a group of people to share my testimony, and to be honest, my emotions will be a hit or a miss. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to flow out. If you see water in my face, it's not tears, it's the holy water from next door. So I've been struggling with picking a chapter in my life. I've been going person to person, like, hey, what do I do? What do I talk about? Hoping that they pick for me. Because I don't want to talk about what I hurt, and how I got hurt. But after like long arguments back and forth with not only myself, but with God about what I should share, what I was going to share, and battling everything, being unsuccessful to that fight, he chose the biggest hurt in my life, and that was about the death of my dad.
Yeah.
So take it back to April 3rd, sorry, I forgot my birthday. April 3rd, 2001, I was a premature baby with my mother being a drug addict, and my dad had custody battles for about 6 years to get custody of me, and then once he got custody of me, he took me to North Carolina from Hawaii, leaving all my siblings back there. I have 8 of them in Hawaii right now. And about a year after we moved here, it was on Easter Sunday that my dad took me to a park. He loved volleyball, he played volleyball. Volleyball's part of our blood in Hawaii, so we're gonna play volleyball anywhere we can get. And we came home, my Nana had my favorite meal cooked, spaghetti. And me as a kid, I was 6 years old, I wanted to eat my spaghetti and only watch Hannah Montana. But she told me that I need to go downstairs, give my dad his heart medication, because it was like, you know, a nightly routine, you need your medicine. And I finished my dinner, finished the show. 3 shows later, she was like, did you take him your medicine, his medicine? I'm like, no. And she told me to go take it down to him, and he was on the floor when I found him. So I rushed upstairs, told my Nana, and I don't think I've ever seen a 60, 65-year-old move faster than she did down like maybe 2-3 flights of stairs. And I had to do CPR on my dad with my Nana. That was the last time I saw him. They wouldn't even let me say goodbye to him in the ambulance. They wouldn't let me in the back of the hospital because, you know, they don't want kids seeing their parents hooked up to wires and everything. So since then, I've been struggling with many things in my life, like probably a whole novel. For one, I blamed myself for my dad's death. If I took him his medicine, he could still be here today. If I would have listened to my Nana, he would still be here today. And that event caused me to blame myself for everything that happened to my life later on. Like, what if I didn't ask to go to the park that day? What if I tried a little bit harder for my peers to like me? What if I said no just a little bit louder? What if I was the perfect daughter and that she wouldn't have chosen drugs over me? And so on. Growing up, I found comfort in my brokenness, which is what I'm used to, and every time someone would try and help me and everything and talk about it, I would deny them, close up, because I didn't want to dig up my hurts. I struggled with anger growing up, and then I hated change. That triggered anger, fear, and the feeling of out of control, like being out of control, which led to anxiousness. And yeah. I grew a lot of resentment towards others because of this. The death of my dad. I grew resentment towards God because he took my dad from me. I resented my dad for dying on me because I needed my dad growing up.
Yes.
I blamed my mom for choosing drugs over me because I needed my mom, but you know, she kicked that can. Blame myself, and then had resentment towards anyone else who got the experience to grow up with a dad. And then growing up without a dad also led to attachment issues, but also commitment issues. You can't get attached to me because let me get attached to you. I don't like having relationships with people easily, because the last person I had a relationship easy, he died. And I don't want to deal with that kind of pain again. So let me chase you.
Right.
My self-esteem also took a big hit. Am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Was I not the perfect daughter? Could he not give up smoking because I was not the perfect daughter? And so on. The only ifs. Only if I would have done that. I was scared to death growing up as well. My dad was the only big major death growing up until probably about junior year when my dog passed away. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's just a dog. But that was the last thing.
No, I understand.
That was the last thing that my dad gave to me.
Yes.
So I became very, very in a dark place. I was suicidal, I was cutting everywhere. And then my mom was like, you know what, I'm gonna get you a cat. So she got me a cat, and that kind of fixed everything. Another thing is that one biggest thing I struggle with is isolation. I don't want anything to do with anybody if one of my hurts got triggered, or if someone called me out on something, or anything like that. A few months ago, I had a friend told me that I was doing too much, that I was hitting people up too often, stuff like that. And I started retracting myself from my friends, from everyone. I didn't show up to things. I just stopped texting people out of nowhere because I didn't want to bother them. And that was the biggest criticism I received all my life, because I just care so much about people that I want you to know that I care for you. And sometimes I do that too much. The death of my dad changed me, and it was the start of the struggles. It was an event that instilled fear and doubt into my brain. But it was also the event that made me the girl who I am today and nurture every relationship that I have. It made me realize how precious the time you have with your loved ones are, and to make the most time that you have with them. I was also scared of what kind of legacy I would leave behind if I died. Who would I be remembered as? What stories I would tell? People have to share about me? Or would they even have any? Would they remember me in a positive or negative light? Sorry.
You're fine.
And I will admit that sometimes I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and that can come as attached to you, or obsessed with you, clingy, or overbearing. But I promise it's not because I'm obsessed with you, or that I can't live without you. It's because I want you to know just how each person in my life means to me, and that how they impact me in my life, that they're one of the many reasons that I'm here today, and I keep pushing. Because what if they need to see me the next time? What if I'm the reason that they're still here too? But in summary, I try to be the friend that I needed whenever my dad died.
Yeah.
Up until last year, I struggled to find my place in this world. My viewpoints on things would change like North Carolina's daily weather. Hot and cold, you couldn't pick one. I couldn't make up my mind. I gave God a few chances throughout my life, but would always quit when I didn't see anything happen within a month or so. I decided enough was enough. I was tired of doing the same thing over and over, and I was ready to find my own identity, my own values, or something in this case to stand behind, or someone to stand behind. I've been to many churches in the past and tried to find my place with them, but I really felt at home, never really felt at home. I felt I was trying to prove myself to others of the church, in the church, and not to God, which was the practice I was trying to get rid of, trying to people please other people. The first time I walked into free water a year ago, I knew it was different. I didn't have to hide parts of me in fear of judgment. I walked into the building and knew where the Holy Spirit was. It did not just fill the room, but it filled the people within that room. And then I just kept going since then. Many people here help me with my walk through Christ, and I can stand here and name everyone and how, but we don't have time for that. But the most help I received from, I feel like I can't give enough credit to. This person has given me the comfort that I was at a low point. They remind me every day the love that they have for me. They don't abandon me, and I could go on and on about being savvy, and I'm sure you're interested in who this person is. His name's Jesus. Since my journey, I've been working on many things and learned and still learning things. Like having an earthly father is what every little girl should have to guide her and protect her and make her life easy. Now I see all the times where God has tried to tell me, and he is still telling me, I am your father and all you need. I will give you the comfort you need and fill that hole that was left when I called your earthly father to me. Trust me and I will make you whole again, if not overfill your cup with the blessings I have in store for you. And to circle back on me trying my best to find the friend that I need, from the moment I allowed God to work wonders on my own pain and the hurt, I tried to be the friend that shows the love that the Father has for us all. I've learned that I have to show the joy, forgiveness, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control, faithfulness, and all the other works he has done through me to show my peers just a glimpse of what the weight he can take off your shoulders is. A person who is full of the fruits of the spirits will reach more and lead more to Jesus through his salvation, find their salvation through him. Remember, honey attracts more than vinegar. Sorry. I spent years carrying the blame of my dad's death, letting it shape every what if and every broken piece of me. This past Monday, October 13th, it marked 1 year of dedicating my life to the Lord in the new beginning. Okay, so originally I was not supposed to give my testimony today. They had double booking in the process of dinner's church,